Welcome, friends. Today, I'm delighted to share a heartfelt story about how one small act of generosity can lead to extraordinary outcomes. Let's dive into the inspiring tale of Maria and her beloved diner. For 5 years, Maria had run a charming little diner on a quiet street corner in a tranquil neighborhood. The diner featured 8 inviting tables and a small counter. Though the red and white checkered curtains had faded over time, Maria took pride in keeping everything immaculate. Every morning, she woke up at 4 a.m. to prepare fresh meals using her grandmother's treasured recipes. The air would soon be filled with the comforting aroma of freshly baked bread and simmering soup. Business, however, had slowed recently. Maria's heart sank as she sat in her empty diner, her bills scattered on the counter. Despite her tireless efforts, her daily earnings barely covered her expenses. Her 2 children, Tommy and Sophia, needed school supplies, but Maria couldn't afford them. Brushing away tears, she resolved to keep trying. One rainy evening, as thunder echoed outside, Maria was about to close early when the jingle of the doorbell startled her. An elderly man stepped inside, dripping wet and trembling. His clothes were tattered, and his frail hands clutched a worn hat. The sight tugged at Maria's heart. "I haven't eaten in days," he murmured, his voice quivering. "I lost my job and spent my last money on medicine." Maria thought of her own hardships, but couldn't ignore the hunger in his eyes. Smiling warmly, she led him to a table and reassured him that payment wasn't necessary. Returning to the kitchen, she prepared her grandmother's chicken soup with extra care and baked fresh bread. As the soup simmered, she also packed additional food for him to take home. When Maria served the meal, the man's eyes glistened with tears. "This reminds me of my mother's cooking," he said, his voice heavy with emotion. He introduced himself as Robert, a former accountant who had faced hardship after losing his job and his wife. Maria shared her own story, and their conversation brought mutual comfort. After finishing his meal, Robert expressed his gratitude and left a folded note on the table. "You don't need to leave anything," Maria said, but he smiled and walked out into the night. Curious, Maria unfolded the note. What she read stunned her. It wasn't merely a thank you note, it was an incredible opportunity. Robert, as it turned out, wasn't just an ordinary accountant. He had been a financial advisor for a major restaurant chain. The note revealed that he had been observing Maria's diner for weeks, admiring her dedication and compassion. He promised to return with investors who could help her business grow. True to his word, Robert returned the next day with a group of investors. They sampled Maria's dishes and were captivated by her cooking and the inviting atmosphere of the diner. By the end of their visit, they offered to invest in her business, with plans to expand her diner into multiple locations while preserving its unique charm. In just 6 months, Maria's life underwent a remarkable transformation. Her diner expanded, new locations opened across the city, and her grandmother's chicken soup became the signature dish. Maria made it her mission to hire individuals in need, ensuring no one left her diner hungry, regardless of their ability to pay. Robert became a trusted advisor, visiting weekly for a bowl of soup. Though he rarely spoke of that rainy evening, his smile during each visit said it all. Maria framed the note he had left and hung it in her office as a reminder of how kindness can change lives. Maria's diner grew into a symbol of hope, demonstrating that compassion and perseverance can create ripples far beyond what we imagine. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Mystic Tales for more uplifting stories. Share how this story made you feel in the comments with just one word.